Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode for the Paperhats Survival Multiplayer server. My name is Glitch. It is a rainy day here in the land of Wildwood, but despite that, I've got more than a few projects that I am just itching to get started on today. Now, off camera, I've been mostly working on just doing a little work, farming up some things like wood, and just working on a few ideas for the pathing and just overall starting out on the base. There is one element that I am realizing that is going to probably not get done today, but there is one thing that I need to start working on designing and building. Simply put, it's come to my attention that this storage system here in the lower level of the Jungle Temple is not going to cut it. There is just too much added to the game to basically make it all fit. I mean, right now, I've been spending a lot of time running back and forth to spawn. And that one's empty, but yeah, I've still got shulker boxes and shulker boxes of stuff that I've got to move back. But before I start building an actual automated storage system, I need to sit down with a pencil and paper and, figure out what goes where and how I want to put it. So that is a project that's on the horizon, just not here quite yet. Another project that I would like to work on today is Terraform. Because, to be honest, I don't like the fact that my temple is kind of a floating structure at the moment, and to be honest, um, I would like to do something with this ravine to make it look more organic and more actually like it was there, and someone built around it rather than it just kind of being added in. Um, oh, and I made it. But basically, I just want to work to add in some more detail and some more terraforming to make this look more organic in nature. Um, the other thing I really need to work on is, well, simply put, I really need to work on upgrading my business plan. You see, off camera, I also took the time to just have some fun and duplicate up some of the armor trims that I've found thus far in the season, and deck out my armor with redstone and some of the trims. And while that's all well and good, not long after that, Knightley put into Discord that his netherite shop has been restocked. And, the simple version is, um, I am now broke. Because I spent pretty much all my diamonds either buying the upgrade template and a ridiculous amount of netherite. Well, actually, it's truthfully just one block's worth because I wanted to go ahead and have it for my gear. But I currently don't have the diamonds to add it to my armor and tools. So I need to get some more things going for making some serious blue cash. Because being honest, even though the wolf farm is doing decent, with only 3 sheep, it's not going to produce the volume that I need to, make the diamonds I need. So I think it's time to consider a serious amount of expansion. So let me grab some redstone gear and let's get that set up. Made it as far as the iron farm, and I realized if I'm over here at spawn, I should really just grab another load of stuff and... Huh? What? Patches, what are you doing outside? Patches? You... Snowflake? Where have you been, kitty? Patches, what have you been doing off camera? Well, what... Well, I mean... Well, I guess I got my cats back. Patches, Snowflake, it's great to have you. Snowflake, it's great to have you back. And Patches, good kitty, good for finding your friend. I guess I'll grab a load of stuff and well, I guess I'm also taking my cats home. So let me grab stuff and get the wolf farm set up, and I will be right back. Ready to go to our new home, gang? Right, let's go. There we go. I think that that is a good start. I went ahead and set up the wool farm. Well, with that one of every kind of color. I had totally forgotten also that recent updates have changed for parity. That when you dye a sheep, their shorn wool will show up as the color they are. Which, while it does make it uh, easier to tell which one is which, it is strange to see that after all these years. But that being said, I think this gets me a good start towards being able to generate the wool I need to keep the shop going. Um, I'm working on designs for the actual shop itself, and I need to get that over to the shopping district. Beyond that, the last little while, I've been working on the pathing. Uh, Now I know right now this is just using path block, but um, I've been working on like kind of outlining the paths for um the base thus far. Also, decided I needed to farm up a bunch of dripstone. So I've been working on that. It's slow as molasses, but hey, over time I'm gonna build up some because I do also honestly love the look of the dripstone block just for a block in pathing. I think it looks just really great. Next up, though, while I'm working on ideas and design, because sooner than later, I do want to get this enclosed in something that looks a little bit nicer. I do also want to today work on some terraforming because, well, like I said, if I can just fly down here real quick, these vines are going to be the death of me at some point. I keep on catching them as I'm flying down with my elytra, and well, it interrupts your elytra and basically makes it so that you fall. Um, but in all seriousness, um, I would like to make this area a little more terraformed, and I think what I want to do is on the other side. Here, we'll just fly over there. Whoop, up and over. Earlier in the season, I pointed out that there is this. Well, it by the biome, it's not a river, but it is something that if you dive down in here, um, it does. It's a cave system that does go through here. Because it's not technically speaking a river, I don't know that I'll actually have a problem with drown. But nonetheless, I do think that it would be really cool if we could somehow include this river on the other side somehow. I think I'm going to fill in a lot of this, but first things first, I think what I want to do is I want to go ahead and make a sort of outline on the uh on the side here. And I don't know. I'm gonna experiment with a couple of designs and see what happens. And well, I guess I will be right back. Okay, so after a little bit of work, I think I've got a rough design going. Now, to be perfectly honest, I've always said that I struggle with the concept of terraforming. It's just something I don't really feel that I'm good at. I'm trying to learn though. One of the things I wanted to do was, and I left off camera a little while so that the dirt could kind of convert over to grass and the grass could spread. But one of the things I wanted to definitely do was to kind of soften this hill coming down as though it were part of the uh, it was as though it were part of the landscape itself going down through. I did still want to leave myself access to my the bottom area there down where I originally set up the snow generator. We'll get to that in just a second. First off, I went ahead and I wanted to take advantage of this natural land bridge here. Eventually, I'd love to actually make a bridge itself over to the other side, just because I think it would look good. But right now, I've got this area down here. I'm planning to go ahead and make that a little lagoon down there. Thinking of basically having it come down. One of the things I decided though was to try and make my own custom waterfall. It's kind of hard to see right now because of all the scaffolding, but the idea is I want to fill in all that area with water, and then have it cascade down and then form a little pool down here. That did leave me with, well, one very large challenge. This bucket is not going to cut it. Now, thankfully, not too far from the village, I've got free access to lots and lots of ice. And as much as it would really, really help that this rain would work on filling up my ravine, I think it's time for me to embrace the ice bucket challenge and try and get this filled in. So I'm going to do that, and I will be right back. There we go. I think that looks a whole heaping lot better and makes the space look a little more organic. Now, I did have one major challenge in setting this up. I almost drowned on several occasions. So, yeah. While the lagoon itself was looking pretty good, and I may in time do a little bit more with it, I went and got some kelp from the ocean and also spread some seagrass around. But one of the things that I made sure I got, as you can see once I get submerged, is after several times of nearly dying, I went and went back to spawn and got my conduit. I found a couple of hearts of the sea early on in the season, and I've been farming and also asking the Paperhats if anybody had any Nautilus shells to if I could buy them, and it came in actually quite handy here. Now the nice part is I still do have access to the space down here below the temple, and also, well, to be honest, I actually think that the waterfall itself came out pretty decent. Oops. Okay. There. It was actually quite a challenge to actually get the water to fill in without it flowing every which way. But all in all, I think that the waterfall, while I might work on a little bit, it seems like that half slab I've got right there could be just a little bit lower. I might drop everything down one level. I don't know. I'm kind of leaving that go and just kind of working with it as it goes. Figured it also, there was originally a water source here. I figured I'd add it in here just to give it both ends of it. I still need to figure out what I want to do with the rest of the ravine, but I actually think this is off to a decent start, because if you come up here, swim up. Nice part is if I fall in, I can just run up here. But if you come up here and just kind of look back through, it just looks more like the river existed and then the structure was built over it. And I don't know, that just seems to be a good way to go. I did realize, however, that this does, the way my base is kind of setting up at the moment does present a slight challenge, or more in the manner of, I didn't realize things would get in the way. Right now, if I want to do anything on that side of the base, my beacon is kind of in the way. And as I was working on the terraforming and, well, trying not to drown, a thought occurred to me of a way I could possibly put my beacon somewhere a little more useful, or at least hide it in plain sight, but also get the wool farm enclosed in something that looks a little better. So I think my next step is going to be to go ahead and set up a place for the wool farm to do its thing and look a little bit better and a little more like the surrounding area. So I'm going to grab some materials and let's get this building project started. Welcome back, and I hope you enjoyed the time lapse. As this build came together, I started to actually feel some hope that I'm making some progress on, well, varying my block palette a little bit and making a little bit of progress in my skills as a builder. Now that being said, um originally I did not plan for this project to come out this big. But, well, like I said earlier in the season, one of my challenges this season is to vary my block palette a little bit and to get away from building giant boxes. Um I do have to confess I am really enjoying using the tough and I may change up some of the blocks in here to just vary colors just a little bit, but it is amazing to me how much, even just when I added in the polished tough versus the tough bricks, how much just a little variation in texture just really kind of improved the build. Now, the first floor is just for the wool farm. I did take time off camera to go ahead and set up a power switch. There's one here. There's also one over there. Uh, that way, I can basically push the button, deactivate the different these two modules. The other one controls the other two modules, and that way, if I ever get filled up with wool, right now it comes into the barrel, and then I can basically put it in shulker boxes. I've got one for every color, but if I ever get full up, I can basically just switch it off, and then we don't have a bunch of extra entities helping to contribute to server lag. Um, Made sure to also have dyes here in case I ever get like a mass order for a certain color. Also wanted to make sure that I had easy access to my dispensers so that as needed I can refill them. And well, as far as the iron itself, thankfully we have the iron farm, so I can just run back and forth to spawn when needed. Um, Decided I was going to split the path a little bit here and actually do a second floor. I have not honestly figured out what I'm going to do with the second floor. Right now, it just gives me access to the sheep so I can re-dye them. I may eventually try and figure out something decorative I can do with this. What that is, I haven't decided yet, but I wanted to at least have the area enclosed and looking nicer. Now, as far as the third floor, just gonna quick fly up here. One thing that I feel like a lesson I learned last season was during the construction phase of my woodland mansion, I constantly had pillager patrols spawning up on the second floor, and they would come and crash in on me. Uh, I'm trying to avoid that, so I figured I'd take some of the leftover tough, polished tough slab and just spawn proof this a little bit, which will hopefully, and I do stress the word hopefully, keep me from having, well, uninvited guests. More than anything, this up here, really, I don't plan to spend a lot of time up here. I just wanted to make sure I still had access to my beacon. That way, if I want to change the effects, I have the ability to. And basically have it look nice up here. It is kind of nice. It opens up this area over here for possible more pathing. And I've got one or two ideas that may be coming in future episodes. But overall, I think that the wool farm is enclosed and looking good. Am still working a little bit on the greenery. I spent some time off camera adding in some vines, and I'm trying to, as I said before, reforest as I go. Still need to add a few down here, but I think this is on its way to looking really good. Now, one other thing I did have happen off camera was while I was putting the finishing touches and waiting for the trees to actually grow and the bamboo to grow up, I noticed somebody over here bothering my starter sheep, and well, he just wouldn't go away. So I decided to make a new little friend. And while I already have Rusty in here, well, we now have a new dog. And well, Rusty is the Rusty variant of the wolf, and well, this is the actual wood variant of the wolf. So I decided that since uh since you came to me from the forest, but you have now come to the jungle, I think we're gonna name you Coco and welcome you into the fold. So Coco, it's great to have you with us. So now that I've got the wool farm up and running and well, frankly, looking decent, it's time to start turning my attention to a couple of other important matters. First and foremost, well, it happened again. I've got a random assortment of chests all over my base, and well, to be honest, yep, I can't find anything again. So I think next time I need to start working on remedying that and getting myself organized. But also, well, to be honest, while I've got the sleeping hut is a useful place, as the sun sets and my menagerie continues to grow, I'm realizing that pretty soon I'm going to start running out of room. So I think next time it's time to work on getting organized and also trying to find a little bit more of a permanent home here in the sparse jungle. But that's going to have to wait till next time. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. And also consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. My name is Glitch, and I do hope we'll see you next time for the next episode on the Paperhats Survival Multiplayer server. Thanks for watching.